Good morning and welcome to the Parkway Long Course Classic. It's day number 2 as we get set for a whole host of events here. It will be the 12 and unders starting things off in this early morning time slot for everyone. We're happy to have you join us here for all of our events this morning. My name is Matt Judkins. I'll be bringing you the action, and we've got another helper on board with us here this morning. My son Matthew Judkins has decided to join us. He's going to help us with the camera a little bit. We'll start things off today with that 100-meter freestyle. That will be a full lap here in the pool, down and back. And just as we did yesterday, the odd-numbered events will start on the left side of your screen, and the even-numbered events will start on the right side of your screen. Now, there's a couple of anomalies. For those of you just joining us for the first time as we get set for this first event, all of the events that start on the left side, the odd-numbered events, will be timed on the scoreboard. The even-numbered events, they are not timed on the scoreboard. They're officially timed down on the pool, so we're not going to know those official times as we get underway. And here we are. We've got 6 lanes here, all 6 filled here in this particular heat. This is the first heat of 9. It's Schoenfeld in lane 1, Colleen King in lane 2, Sarah Morgan in lane 3, McDowell in lane 4, Erica Shin in lane 5, and Emma DeBosch in lane number 6, just a 7-year-old. One swimmer from Saluki, that is Colleen King in lane number 2. And she is a 10-year-old. A 9-year-old in this one is Schoenfeld, 7-year-old DeBosch. All the rest are 10 years old here in this one. Again, this is down and back. None of these swimmers have an established time as yet. As we continue to roll on here in event number 1, we'll try and give you a little bit better camera angle than we had yesterday. Can't quite get zoomed in with the wideness of the pool, but the best we can do is get this out there as King slight lead right now over Shin in lane number 5, King in lane number 2. All 6 of these lanes are filled. This will be 9 heats. Of this one. As we get set now for heat number 2, we'll finish this one out, come back to this middle angle for you, and we are underway in heat number 2. This one moving from right to left on your computer screen. You see the swimmers having just dove in. It's Poley in lane number 1, McCall in lane number 2. That's Lauren McCall. Sophie Bain in lane number 3. Noah Brooks in lane number 4. She was fast yesterday. Rydell in lane number 5, and Palish in lane number 6. All these swimmers that competed yesterday were very fast. Right now, you see Lauren McCall, lane number 2, a little bit ahead of everyone else. She's got about a half a body length lead. Pulley in lane number 1 from Saluki. The other swimmers all from Parkway. We have 2 10-year-olds. That's Pulley and Palish. They're in lanes number 1 and 6 respectively. The others all 11 years old. Again, no established times for these young ladies. That's McCall right now, slightly ahead of everyone else. Last few swimmers go right past our perspective at mid-pool. We'll track them all the way down towards the end. And we'll get set now. Back to the left side of your screen as we get ready to go here in heat number 3. It'll be Lindsay Wong in lane number 1, Gwendolyn Thompson in lane number 2, Vivian Borgmeyer in 3, Claire Spiegel in 4, and Bryn Vogler in 5. And now it looks like we've got a number of scratches. I had not paid attention right now. So just the lanes number 1 and 2. The other ones have decided not to swim today. So we got Wong in 1 and Thompson in 2. Thompson previously established time for this 9-year-old of 2:21.11. A lot of these swimmers throughout the day will be looking to get those B cuts, double B cuts to get into the end of the summer long course championships, which will be right here at this Chuck Fruit Aquatic Center towards the end of July. Of course, then there's the A and the B, or the double A's, all the way up to that triple A to get you to that zones meet as we progress our way through the summer. Lindsey Wong looking very strong right now. No previously established time for this 12-year-old from Parkway. Here on this early Sunday morning. Well, just a couple of meets now into long course, and some of these swimmers really still trying to figure out how to swim this one, but we've got one right now in Wong. She's clearly figured that out as we see Thompson come across our middle of the pool camera. She'll go back the other way. We'll get her time for you here in just a moment as we get set to start this next heat. That's next heat. The 4th heat will start on the right side of your screen. All 6 lanes occupied in this one. It'll be Lucy Fox in lane number 1, Celine Chen in lane number 2, Aline Gia in lane number 3, Amelia Reese in lane number 4, Natalie Grinther in lane 5, and Sloan Langdon in lane number 6. Langdon, just a 7-year-old. She's at the top of your screen. For those of you joining us for the first time, lane 1 at the bottom of your screen, lane 6 at the top. You'll note that the top 2 lanes on your screen are vacated. Those are for warm up and warm down. Part of what you have to do to have an official meet like this is allow for that to happen. So only 6 lanes used for competition. First 2 out of the chute on this first 50 here in this 100 free. Lanes number 2 and 5. That's Chen and Grinther. They'll be the first one to touch. Times in that previous one, 1:24.29 again for Wong and Thompson with a 2:09.58. That is about a second and a half faster than their previous best time. So that's what these youngsters want to do. They want to make sure they improve each time in and out. Good race going right now for first place as we're going to come down to the end in this particular heat. Again, it's Grinther and Chen. They are neck and neck as they pass the last 10 meters. They're going to go inside the flag. Let's see who'll be the first one to touch the wall. Final strokes, and it'll be lane number 2. It'll be Chen. Celine Chen gets that one as the rest of the swimmers now come across half pool. It is Grinther in second place in that one. Third place in the heat right now in lane number 3 will be Gia. Rounding things out will be Fox, followed by Reese, and then Langdon. Now back to the other side of the pool. This is the left side of the pool. All 6 lanes occupied in this one. It'll be Leela Herzl in lane number 1, Anayaya Sethi in lane number 2, Cora Bland in 3, Lucy Favaza in 4, Elam Fu in 5, and Shannon Higgins in lane number 6. Got a chance to see Mike Favaza. You see him walking around the pool deck, one of the officials here today. Mentioned him yesterday, and always want to give a shout out to our officials. Can't do these meets without them. Also, special shout out to the volunteers who are here timing for this meet, working various duties. Matt Mollering handling security for us up here in the broadcast booth, making sure nobody crashes in and gives us too much trouble. And also marshaling the event to make sure that all those protocols are followed for COVID. Good race right now. Lanes number 1, 2, and 5. It's Herzl, Sethi, and Fu. All 3 of these young ladies fast yesterday. Very slight lead for Sethi as she comes right down to it. They're under the flags, these first 3 swimmers, and it will be Sethi to the wall, 1:17.64. She just dropped 21 seconds in her event. Second in the heat is Herzl. Third in the heat is Fu. As we round things out, 4th in the heat as she comes to the wall right now. In lane number 4 is Lucy Favaza. Right behind her in lanes number 6 and 3 are Bland and Higgins. Now, we'll go back to the right side on the start. Had a little trouble with our picture here, but nonetheless, it's Patton Rose Patton in lane number 1. It is Grace Honnold in lane number 2. Tori Reese in lane number 3. Addison Howard in 4. Rowan Bullard in lane number 5. And Ann Irwin in lane number 6. They touch the wall, come back the other way. Right now, neck and neck in lanes 2 and 3 are Honnold and Reese. A couple of swimmers from Saluki. Honnold, a 12-year-old. Reese, an 11-year-old. And Honnold right now starting to stretch it out just a little bit. She will be the first one to the wall, followed by her teammate. So it will go Honnold, then Reese. Third place in the heat right now, trying to hold on to that position in lane number 5 is Bullard. Right in behind her in lane number 4 is Howard. Coming up closely in lane 1 is Patton, and Irwin will round things out in lane 6. Heat number 7. Going from left to right, it'll be Riley Moran in lane number 1, Isabella Zabriri in lane 2, Jada Ankrum in lane 3, Peyton Robick in lane 4, Grace Hager in 5, and Willa Shank in lane number 6. A number of these swimmers here with brothers and sisters that also swim in the program. Got a couple from Saluki as well. In fact, all 4 of the Parkway swimmers, Moran, Robick, Hager, and Shank, have fellow brothers and sisters, siblings in the program. And then Zabriri, the 12-year-old in lane 2, and Ankrum, the 11-year-old in lane 3, are both from Saluki. Right now, it is Zabriri looking very strong in lane 2, right there with Peyton Robick in lane number 4. They're going to go neck and neck. This one's going to come right down to it, folks. Both looking very strong in this 100-meter. Also, Riley Moran in lane number 1 holding right in there with them as well. Moran, just a 10-year-old. As we come into the wall now, it looks like Robick's going to take this one inside the flag, and it'll be Peyton Robick at the wall. So she comes in at 1:14.19. She just shaved 14 seconds off her previous best. Nice finish, too, for Zabriri, followed by Moran, then Ankrum, and rounding things out will be Hager and Shank. Good race all the way around for those young ladies. Now we are quickly on to heat number 8. It's Madeline Tucker in lane number 1. Kennedy Johnson's in lane number 2. Kelby Funk in lane 3. Libby Price in lane 4. Campbell McCool in lane 5. And Quinn Porter in lane number 6. Taking an early lead here in this one is Funk. She was very fast yesterday. The 12-year-old from Saluki. She came in at 1:18.80. Fastest in the heat. Right now, she's looking to best that one. It looks like she just might do that. She is about 4 body lengths ahead of the next closest competitor as they come right down to the wall. We won't have her official time up on the scoreboard, but right now she did very well to get into that one. Coming in right behind her will be Price in lane number 4, followed by Kennedy Johnson in lane number 2. Rounding things out in lanes 5 and 6 are McCool, Porter, and then Tucker. Now, final heat in this one. This will be a fast one. No swimmers in lane number 4 for this one, but lane number 1 is Aubrey Ackerman. It's Leah DeBosch in lane number 2, Danny Hume in 3, Sophia Schmidt, in lane number 4, and Natalie Gronberg in lane number 6. Fastest prelim in time was Hume in lane number 3. She came in with a 2:12.64. 1:14.20 for DeBosch in lane number 2 was the second fastest prelim time, or previous recorded time. Right now they are neck and neck for this one. Both looking very strong, as are all the swimmers in this heat. Up there in lane number 5, looking very good as well as Sophia Schmidt. A 1:14.69 was her previous best. Lane number 6 is Gronberg, and then rounding things out is Ackerman from Saluki. Schmidt is making a play for Hume. Let's see if she can get to her, but it looks like it will be Hume. Hume will be the first one to touch. 1:11.57 for her. Second place, 1:12.60 for Schmidt. 1:12.81 for DeBosch. 1:15.03 for Gronberg, and 1:19.53 for Ackerman. So good times all the way around for those young ladies. 1:11.57, previous best time. All of those youngsters getting their previous best times. We'll check on that and how that rates in terms of see how this works out for these youngsters as we try and track some of those times. And that 100 free, that 1:11.57 definitely in there for a solid A time. Number of double B times in that one as well. Now here we go with the first heat for the boys. This will be just 2 swimmers here in this first heat. It'll be Zachary Kuznetsov in lane number 2 and Ryan Shalom in lane number 3. No previously recorded time for these 2 youngsters. Kuznetsov, just a 9-year-old in lane 2. Shalom, a 10-year-old in lane number 3. Got a nice shot out here. Go, Erica. So that's our first shout out of the day, and we want to thank everybody. You can go ahead and chime on in. If I get a chance, I will check that message board. Of course, you can hit me up as well. Matt on the mic 1. Send me a tweet. I'm on Twitter, bringing you this one here today. Again, it's Matt on the mic 1, the number 1. Look for me on Twitter, and we can give you some shout outs to those youngsters that you're rooting for. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Spread the word. Let people know you're out there watching. Very strong right now in lane number 4 is Ryan Shalom, the 10-year-old from Parkway. Also with a good first time out for Zachary Kuznetsov as he hits the halfway mark in the pool. 2 swimmers now will jump in from the right side. They'll be moving from right to left in this heat number 2. It's lanes number 3 and 4. Colin Mozzie in lane number 3 and Tyson Brooks in lane number 4. A pair of 10-year-olds, both from Parkway. They are stroke for stroke with each other right now, folks. As you see them come right across our mid-pool perspective. Both these swimmers very good yesterday and very fast. Looks like one of their goggles fell off in lane number 4, and that's always tough, but that's young Tyson Brooks, and he's battling his way through, though. Great to see that heart, courage, and character that these build for these youngsters. He's not giving up. These swimmers still going right at it as they come back towards mid-pool. Great swim for both of these young men. Look very strong as they come across mid-pool. Again, no previously recorded time. So for them, first time swimming this 100-meter in this long course pool. You don't get the rest that you might have or the extra push off the wall as they'll come down. We don't have their recorded time. They're on even numbered heat. We're going to now have heat number 3 moving from left to right. It'll be Max Mayo in lane number 1, Ryan Pinkerton in lane 2, Noah Samples in lane number 3. In lane 5, it's Caleb Oppel and Xander Pitt in lane number 6. Samples and Pitt both from Saluki. Mayo, Pinkerton, and Oppel all from Parkway. Ages range from 8 years old for Samples in lane 3 to 10 years old for Pitt, a couple of 11-year-olds in Mayo and Oppel, and Pinkerton, the 12-year-old, in lane number 2. Right now, top of your screen, lane number 5, really going out with a very fast time. That's Caleb Oppel, the 11-year-old from Parkway. Looking very strong now as he comes mid-pool. He's going to have a nice low time here in this 100 free for the 11-year-old. Looking at that 100 free for an 11-year-old, 109.69. That is the A time. Won't get there. 121 though. 29 is the B time, and the double B time. He's just off of that at 115.49. But a nice swim for Oppel as he gets in and out of the pool. Second place in that heat, lane number 2, will be Pinkerton. And now they'll come across the midway point. It's Mayo in lane number 1, followed in there by the 8-year-old Sample and Pitt in lane number 6. Back the other way now. No one in lane number 3 here. In this one will be Andrew Bain in lane number 1, Henry Price in lane number 2. Lane number 3 will have, or lane number 4, excuse me, will have Nick Lang, Parker Robick in lane number 5, and Chapman Springbold in lane number 6. Early lead here. Nick Lang, the 11-year-old from Parkway, in lane number 4. That'll be the first one off the wall. Touch and go back the other way. Another 8-year-old in this one. That's Parker Robick, competing here with the older youngsters. Henry Price and Springbold, both 10-year-olds. They're in lanes 2 and 6 respectively. And then the 11-year-olds in this one are Bain in lane 1 and Lang, your leader for this heat, in lane number 4. Springbold swims for the Saluki Swim Club, and the other 4 for Parkway. We just saw Parker's older sister a moment ago, Peyton, win her heat. Parker trying to be that fastest 8-year-old out there. We've always seen him be that fastest 8-year-old in a number of events, no doubt. Now we'll get set to go with the next heat as those youngsters round things out. Again, first one in was Lang, followed in behind in lane number 1 by Bain, then lane 6 Springbold. It'll be Price, and then Robick rounding things out. No one in lane number 3 here for heat number 5. Moving from left to right, it's Seamus Smith from Parkway, an 11-year-old in lane 1. A fellow Parkway teammate and 11-year-old Mitchell Stanley in lane number 2. It's Abram Shank in lane 4. He's just 9. He's from Parkway, and he's swimming next to his teammate Cameron Wellick in lane 5, who's a 10-year-old from Parkway. And then Gannon Funk, the 10-year-old from Saluki, in lane number 6. Funk, the first one off the wall, followed closely in behind by Smith and then Stanley. It'll be Wellick, and then Shank will round things out. Shank, just a 9-year-old. Wellick and Funk, 10 years old, and 11 years old for Smith and Stanley. Taking a lead now, lane number 1 is Seamus Smith. 1:37.75 is his previous best time. All swimmers grouped together pretty well here in this one. Looks like Smith, though, is going to be the swimmer to beat. He's going to shatter his previous best time. So he touches the wall in 1:28.64. Second place in that one. Actually, it was Funk who out-touched him. Smith comes in second place, third place to Stanley, fourth place to Wellick, and Shank rounds things out. Now, 6 full here in this next heat. They're already in the water, moving from right to left. We're doing that chase start. It's Adam Kress in lane number 1, Christopher Nelson in lane number 2, Mason Mollering in 3, Anderson Take in lane, Taki in lane number 4, Grayson Langdon in 5, and Elliott Sapp in lane number 6. A number of these swimmers were very fast yesterday. Right now you're seeing Christopher Nelson front running in this particular heat. All these swimmers from Parkway. Langdon's a 10-year-old. Nelson, Mollering, and Sapp are 11 years old, and Kress and Taki are 12 years old. First one to the wall in this particular heat will be Christopher Nelson in lane number 2. Good battle for second place, but it looks like it will be Sapp, and it will be Sapp in second place. Right in there for third place, it was Mollering and Taki. They'll take that one. And rounding things out will be Kress, followed by Langdon. Now, final heat. 5 swimmers in on this one. No one in lane number 1. It'll be Elliott Bland in lane number 2, Connor Moran in lane 3, Casey Chapman in 4, Michael Purcell in 5, and Cole Strom in lane number 6. Look for Bland and Moran and Purcell all to be fast in this one, and right now it is Moran. Moran, body length and a half ahead of everyone else as he touches the wall. Great split for him in just about 32. He's going to come back. His previous best time for young Connor was 1:13.65. For this 12-year-old, you're looking at that. He's looking to get a 1:09.69 for that A time, or a 1:06.79 for a double A time. Let's see if he can get there. Right now, he's well on pace to do that. Past half pool, and Connor Moran pacing everyone. Good battle for second place in lane number 2 right now. It's Bland. In lane number 4, it's Chapman. Right in behind them is Purcell. Rounding things out is Strom. Coming into the wall now, it's young Connor Moran. What's he going to hit? He'll hit out at 1:07.74. Nice swim for him. Solidly into that A time. Just off of the double A time. Second place in that one is Chapman, followed by Bland, Purcell, and then Strom, and that's how we'll round things out here in this one. So we had a little issue with the camera right at the end. Every 10 minutes or so, just with your finger sliding. Okay, we're going to move on to event number 23. Back to the girls, 50-meter breaststroke. So these are all going to move. These are all going to move from right to left. And we're going to follow these because it's just one heat, it's just one length of the pool. There are no flyover starts in this one. We'll complete one, and then we'll go back to the other end of the pool for the next one. First heat here, we've got two swimmers. It's Emma DeBosch, the 7-year-old, for Parkway in lane number 2, and Gwendolyn Thompson, lane number 4. No previously established times for these two youngsters. So this is a 50-meter breaststroke. And right now, young Emma emulating her sister, emulating her mother, emulating her uncle. Her uncle coaches, head coach at Kirkwood High School, fresh off of a girls' state championship here this past spring. So they've got a lot of swimming in that pedigree. Of course, both her mother and her uncle competed for Parkway for a long time. Some records were held by them and may still be held by them. Of course, her father, Dr. Bryan, an official and part of the Parkway board. She comes into the wall. She'll be the first one in. She goes under a minute for her first time out. 58:32 for Emma. Good time also coming in for Gwendolyn here. And that 58:32, good enough for a B time for Emma DeBosch. Remember, for the 8 and unders, they still go with that 10 and under time for those time standard cuts. All right, here we go now. Next event. Swimmers up on the blocks. Looks like we're going to have a couple of vacated lanes here in this one. Just 3 swimmers. No one's in lane 1, 3, and 6. So it'll be Erica Shin. We got a shout out for her a moment ago. She's in lane number 2. Aline Gia in lane number 4, and Heidi Haberstroh in lane number 5. All 3 of these youngsters, 10 years old. All 3 of them swim for Parkway. Got a couple of more shout outs on the message board. Go Casey, got that from Mom. That's Vicki Chapman. Let's go Parker Robick. That's from Grandma and Grandpa. Pull it out Kelsey from Chapman as well. Thanks to everyone. Go Erica from Gilbert Shin. He's out in the parking lot, so we want to thank him. And we know a lot of parents are hanging out here in Edwardsville, and it's a nice day this morning. First one into the wall on this one will be Shin, a 54.26 for that 10-year-old. Again, that 54.26 in this 50-meter breaststroke, just off of the double B time. So she'll be right on that to get into those championships right back here in later July. Second place in that heat goes to Haberstroh, and rounding things out will be Gia. All right, here we go now. Heat number 3. Full slate, 6 swimmers, all 6 lanes occupied. It'll be Emerson Pulley in lane number 1. Lucy Fox in lane number 2. They're both 10 years old. Pulley's from Saluki. Fox is from Parkway. Campbell McCool's in lane number 3. She's 11 years old from Parkway, with Evie McDowell and Sarah Morgan in lanes 4 and 5, both 10 years old, both from Parkway. And then Colleen King rounding things out at the top of your screen in lane number 6. Right now, bursting off the blocks is Campbell McCool. No previously established time for her in lane number 3, but she is several body lengths ahead of the next closest competitor. That next closest competitor is from Saluki, and that's Colleen King, top of your screen in lane number 6. McCool's going to glide into the wall. She's going to try and go sub 50. Can she get under 50 seconds? Her touch time will be 50.75 on that 50-meter breaststroke. Just off of the B time for her. 59.53 for King. Top of your screen, the 10-year-old. She will get that B time. Let's round things out now. It'll be McCool, then King, McDowell. And that's how we'll finish things out. With Morgan, then Fox, and Pulley. Now back to the other side of the pool here. If you want to, you can shoot me a tweet. Matt on the mic, the number 1. Matt on the mic. That's my Twitter handle. Send us a note. Let us know you're out there listening, who you're talking about, who you'd like to hear about, and we'll mention your name right here on the air. No swimmers in lane number 5 at this point. So we'll have lanes number 1 through 4, and that's Noah Brooks in lane 1, Celine Chen in lane 2, Paige Blom in lane number 3. It's Natalie Gromberg in lane number 4, and lane number 5, Meryl Rydell, the 11-year-old from Parkway. So all swimmers from Parkway. Brooks and Rydell on the outside, they're both 11 years old. Chen, Blom, and Bromberg, all 12 years old. They'll come right down to it. 3 in the lanes 2, 3, and 4 competing for first place in the heat. It's Chen and Blom in lanes 2 and 3. Let's see who's going to have the proper timing on the stroke to touch the wall. In lane number 2, it will be Chen. Blom in lane number 3 will be second. Gromberg in 4. Rounding things out in this one will be Brooks. We'll get set for that next heat here in just a moment. They're going to let everyone clear the pool. In this 50-meter breaststroke, second event of the morning here. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage thus far. Get a shout out for Lauren McCall here, watching and cheering you on. Good luck to all the swimmers, so thank you for that one. And that's from Gracie84. No one in lane number 6 for this particular heat. It's Sydney Rakers in lane number 1. Amelia Reese in lane number 2. Cora Bland in 3. Sophie Bain in lane number 4. And the 7-year-old Sloan Langdon in lane number 5. All swimmers from Parkway. A couple of 10-year-olds, Rakers and Bland, and Reese and Bain, 11 years old for Parkway. Nice colorful cap there in lane number 3 for Cora Bland. Easy with this wide camera angle. Maybe your parents said, hey, we're going to be out there watching. Grandma and Grandpa want to watch. Aunts and uncles, wear that bright colored cap so we can pick you out. And she's blazing a trail right now in lane number 3. Her previous best time of 102.82. She looks to go well under that. Also out there in lane number 4, she's going to be the first one to touch the wall. Blazing time for Sophie Bain. And Bain comes in at 50.88. Nice job for Sophie. For that 11-year-old, she was cruising down the pool. Right in behind her, Bland, 104.73. Then it's Reese, Langdon, and rounding things out will be Rakers in lane number 1. That 50.88 for the 11-year-old Sophie Bain, just off of the B time. B time for that 50 breast is 48.99. All right. On to heat number 6 of 8. Four swimmers in on this one. Rose Patton's in lane number 1 from Saluki. Gabby Green in lane number 2. Lane number 3 has a swimmer in it, but we don't know who that is. Lucy Favaza in lane number 4. So we'll see how this all rounds out. Not really sure who the swimmer is in lane number 3. But it's Gabby Green, her previous best time of 1 minute, 0.3 for that 9-year-old. She's going to go well under that one, folks. She is blazing down the pool. She'll have the fastest time thus far, it looks like. Can she go under 50? She will. She'll touch in 49.58 for Gabby Green. That 49.58 for young Gabby in this 50-meter breaststroke. Just off of the A time, solidly between the double B and the A. The double B time was 53.99, so nice job for her. Second place in the heat was lane number 3, Lucy Vavaza, to 103.91 for Lucy. And rounding things out in lane number 1 was Patton. All right. 6 swimmers in here on heat number 7. It's Shannon Higgins in lane number 1, Danny Hume in lane 2, Riley Moran in 3, Rowan Bullard in lane number 4, Margaret Mendoza in lane number 5, and Willa Shank in lane number 6. We're going to have some fast ones in this one. Right now, we got 2 blazing it in lanes number 2 and 3. That's Hume and Moran. They both came in 57.13 and 54.53, respectively. Right now, Hume just slightly out-edging Moran. Look up in lane number 5 as well. Really going quite fast is Margaret Mendoza. In fact, Mendoza may take the lead. She does take the lead now, very slightly, but it's Hume in lane number 2, then Mendoza, then Riley Moran. Down to the wire, inside the flags. First one into the wall, and it will be Hume at a 49.41, followed by Moran at 50.22, then Mendoza 51.08. Rounding things out as they touch the wall, it'll be Shank, followed by Bullard and Higgins. So nice job to all those young ladies. Some nice drops in time across the board. Final heat right now. For these next 6 youngsters, it'll be Quinn Porter in lane number 1, Leah DeBosch in lane number 2, Aubrey Ackerman in lane 3, Natalie Grinther in 4, Kennedy Johnson in 5, and Leela Herzl in lane number 6. There are 5 11-year-olds from Parkway, Porter, DeBosch, Grinther, Johnson, and Herzl in this event, and then the 12-year-old from Saluki, Ackerman. Right now, it's Ackerman and DeBosch doing battle here in lanes number 2 and 3. Looking very strong for both of these young ladies. Ackerman came in with a 42.04. DeBosch with a 51.65. And right now, young Leah stepped it up. She's going to take it inside the flag with the lead. Can she hold on? Leah DeBosch. A couple more strokes to go. She'll be the first one to touch the wall. She'll shatter her previous best time. 42.41 for young Leah. 9 seconds off her previous best for her. 43.83 for Ackerman, just off her previous best. But that 42.41 for the 11-year-old DeBosch in this one, just off of the double A time, just off of the A time as well. So she's solidly in that double B range. She's going to be vying for those A times all throughout the summer. Nice job to those young ladies. Let's round things out. Third place in that heat was Herzl, followed by Johnson, Porter, and Grinther. Well, we got one lone soldier here in the first heat. Tough for these youngsters to come out here and be the only one that has to swim, but we'll give all the credit in the world right now to Zachary Kuznetsov, because guess what? He's going to solo this breaststroke for his first time ever in the long course. So let's really kind of put this in perspective. You're 9 years old. You're still learning how to swim the breaststroke. You're in a long course pool, maybe for the first time, because the Parkway Club has not had a lot of opportunity to practice in a long course pool. You don't have a previously recorded time, and this is one of the most difficult technical strokes you got. And right now, he's giving it 110%, folks. Again, can't talk enough about the competitive spirit that a lot of these youngsters have. We saw one young man with his goggles fall off earlier. Right now, you got a youngster competing by himself. All he's trying to do is establish a great first time out. He's just 9 years old. But this is all part of the learning process as well. Got a moment, another note to pass along. Curtis Reese a moment ago said, "Go Amelia." Give a nice shout out to her. She did pretty well in her race. As he comes in, 133.45. Nice job, young Zachary. As we get set now for heat number 2 here in this one. There will not be a swimmer in lane number 1 for this particular heat. It'll be Colin Mozzie in lane number 2, Max Mayo in lane number 3. No swimmer in lane number 4. Ryan Shalom in lane number 5, and Tyson Brooks in lane number 6. So 4 competitors, no one with a previously established time yet in this event. Again, maybe one of the hardest strokes to really learn how to do. Some swimmers come to the breaststroke very naturally. Others, it takes several years at times to get good at it. Right now in this particular heat, lane number 3 is Max Mayo, followed in behind up in lane number 6 by Brooks. Then it's Mozzie and Shalom rounding things out. Mayo is 11 years old. The other 3 competitors, 10 years old, all swim for the Parkway Swim Club. And as Mayo touches the wall, he'll do it in just under a minute at 58.88. Nice job for him, the 11-year-old. Rounding things out will be Brooks, then Mozzie, and Shalom. All right, here we go. Getting set. We got a little bit of a delay here. A couple things being handled down on the pool deck. Swimmers step up to the blocks for heat number 3. No swimmer in lane number 4, so it'll be Ryan Pinkerton in lane 1, Henry Price in lane 2, Mitchell Stanley in lane 3, and Abram Shank in lane 5. They are all from Parkway. And then Casey Chapman swims as an unattached. I believe he's a Parkway swimmer as well. Right now, Chapman slightly ahead of everyone else up in lane number 6. Shank is right next to him in lane number 5, maybe slightly ahead of the others, although down in lane number 1, Ryan Pinkerton really doing battle. And in fact, he has made up a lot of ground all of a sudden on Chapman. Also look at lanes number 2 and 3, Price and Stanley. Good race thus far, but it's Casey Chapman, top of your screen. No previously established time for him, nor is there one for Pinkerton. Fastest prelim time was Stanley in lane number 3 at 1:02.79. First one to the wall, under 50. It'll be 49.98 for Chapman. Nice swim for him. Just off of the B time. That B time for the boys in this 100 or 50-meter breaststroke is a 48.99, so he's just a 0.99 off of it. Second place in the heat goes to Pinkerton, then Shank, followed by Stanley, and then Price. Of course, Shank just a 9-year-old, Price just a 10-year-old. They were just off of that B time as well for their age group. No swimmer in lane number 1 for this next heat, so Parker Robick will be the first one to dive in lane 2. Adam Kress will be also with him in lane number 3. Christopher Nelson in 4, Grayson Langdon's in 5, and Cameron Wellick in lane number 6. Langdon and Wellick are 10 years old, Kress 12, Wilson 4, and Parker Robick, of course, just 8 years old, out here competing with the older kids. Lane number 4 right now, middle of the pool, Christopher Nelson. He leads this one. Previous best time in this event in lane 3 was Kress with a 56.80. All these swimmers looking to get their personal best all the way across the board. Nelson was a 58 flat. He's going to beat that for sure. Also, Langdon was a 1 minute .49. He's going to beat it as well. So 50.33, first in the heat, 51.52, also well done. Coming down to it is Kress in 3rd place. He does get off just his previous best. Then it's Parker Robick and Wellick, Cameron Wellick, rounding things out in that one. Cameron bested his previous time, and Parker right on his previous best time. Just a little bit off it slightly. So that'll round things out for that event. All right, heat number 5. All 6 lanes are occupied in this one. It's Nick Lang in lane number 1, Caleb Oppel in lane number 2, Elliott Bland is in 3, along with Elliott Sapp in lane 4, Seamus Smith in 5, and Andrew Bain in lane 6. The pair of Elliott's Bland in 3 and Sapp in 4 have the previous best time. Bland 46.67 and Sapp 47.19. Right now, you're seeing those two do battle in the middle of the pool, and heading away with it is Sapp. Elliott Sapp right now, the 11-year-old, with a little bit of a lead, but coming on strong is Oppel in lane number 2. Hanging in there is Bland in lane number 3. Well, this may not be quite as exciting as the Kentucky Derby yesterday, folks, but this one's going to come right down to it. Right now stretching himself out is Elliott Sapp. He'll be the first one in the wall. Will he beat his previous best time? Elliott Sapp with a 45.61. He does, followed by Oppel. Then it's Bland. Rounding things out will be Lang, Smith, and Bain. And for Elliott Bland on that one, Elliott Sapp, that 45.61 for him in that event. Good enough to get him just off of that double B time of a 45.19, but a nice swim for him, solidly into the B. So way to go to all those youngsters. Again, it was Elliott Sapp winning that heat. Folks, we're going to go to the 100-meter backstroke now. 100-meter backstroke. This will be 2 full lengths of the pool, 1 full lap. And for these young ladies, we will have 7 heats of this one. After we do the backstroke, we'll have the 50-meter fly, and then rounding things out will be that 200-meter IM. Very tough event to round things out for these youngsters. A little bit of delay as we get everything caught up to speed here. Got another shout out from Sarah Stanley, Swim Fast Super Stan. So a nice shout out for him. And of course, we want to thank all of the folks for chiming in. You can hit me on Twitter, Matt on the mic 1. That is my Twitter handle. We know a couple of you reached out to us yesterday. Let's get a couple more of those tweets going. Or you can hit us right there on the message board. Let us know who you're cheering for. Channel that energy and that vibe. Giving all the swimmers a little chance to recover. Coming off of those 50s, they're going to turn right back around. Now we're going to do the 100 back, and we'll get to all the scoreboards reset and get it underway. We are slated for 6 full swimmers in this next heat. A lot of times in that first heat, we'll be a little off in terms of the number of swimmers. So I want to thank Matthew Judkins for joining us today. He's trying to work the camera, hopefully giving you a little bit of a better angle, tracking the swimmers as best we can. A lot easier on those 50s than it is on the 100s and the 200s with those chase starts, but we got a little feedback from it yesterday and a couple of comments about, hey, just one wide angle lens isn't doing us a whole lot of good. Well, we'll try and do it a little bit better. Can't really do much zooming in on this one, but we'll take baby steps here on our one-man band, and we'll look for hopefully Kevin Girth to be back with us for future events. Of course, he's handling baseball duties this weekend, and all the parents out there, I know so many of you spread your time thin between your kids, but worth every moment of it, that's for sure. So enjoy it while it lasts. We'll be looking at that Parkway swim schedule here. If you want to check it out for the Parkway families, go on the website, find out when some of these next upcoming events are. Find out when those long course Meets are coming up. Watch your swimmers improve throughout the summer. My first experience with the long course about 5 years ago with my son. We went down to the Dome in Cape Girardeau in a late March, early April meet. It was freezing cold, and I watched my son jump in that event, and from there on he took off, and now he competes at the national level. Very, very fun for him, and he found long course to be very enjoyable. Some swimmers like it, some don't. My daughter, on the flip side, doesn't care so much for long course, so she's taken this part of the season off. Hopefully we see her back in the spring, in the fall, when we hit back into the long course, or the short course from the long course. And a couple things, having the swimmers just stay warm here. I want to thank Coach Bob from Edwardsville. He's been helping out all weekend here with the meet. And of course, he will host a lot of meets throughout this season. And then the championship meet in July will be here as well. So we'll look forward to seeing a lot of the swimmers here during that time frame. They're going to be looking to get those double Bs, those A times, double A times, triple A's, and so forth. And then as they get older, they'll be looking towards those sectional cuts as well. Of course, those sectional cuts qualify you for those championship events as well. But a lot of swimmers here later this morning will be the ones that will be qualifying and looking for those sectional cuts. Okay, folks, here we go. No swimmer in lane number 4 here. So it'll start things off. It'll be Peyton Schoenfeld, Schoenfeld, Heidi Haberstroh in lane number 2, Evie McDowell in lane number 3, Gwendolyn Thompson in 5, and Emma DeBosch in lane number 6. DeBosch again, this is Emma. She's just 7 years old, and she's up there at the top of your screen, just 9 years old. Thompson and Schoenfeld in lanes number 1 and 5, and then the 10-year-olds, Haberstroh and McDowell. Lane number 2 right now, leading the pack, Heidi Haberstroh. She's a 10-year-old from Parkway. No previously established time for her. But right now, she's well ahead of everyone else here in this particular heat by about a body length and a half. She goes under the flags, into the wall for her. She'll be the first one to touch. Go back the other way. Now remember, we're going to do those chase starts, so as the last swimmer gets to be about halfway, that's where our perspective is at with the camera. They will start the next heat from the opposite side in the same direction. So that's why it's called a chase start. Second one off the wall in this heat so far is Schoenfeld. Lane number 3 is McDowell, rounding things out in 6 and 5 are DeBosch and Thompson, respectively. And coming into the wall now, she's going to go under 150. Good time for her on the first established one. Oh, well, 150.75, but way to go for Haberstroh. Nice job for Heidi, as she outpaced everyone there in that particular heat. Schoenfeld will come in second place in the heat. Vying for third place right now are McDowell and Thompson and DeBosch in lane number 6. It will be Thompson, then DeBosch, then McDowell, then DeBosch. So that's how they round things out there in that particular heat. No swimmer now, moving from right to left on your computer screen. No swimmer in lane number 3. It's Sarah Morgan in lane 1, Lucy Favaza in lane 2, Meryl Rydell in lane number 4, Erica Shin in lane number 5. She got a nice shout out earlier, and Lucy Fox is in lane number 10. Give a shout out to Jack Weidman. Nice note from him on the chat. You can go ahead and send us a note on the chat, or you can hit me with a tweet. Matt on the mic, number 1. Matt on the mic 1. That's my Twitter handle. Hit me up. First two into the wall in lanes number 4 and 5 here in this heat are Rydell and Shin. Again, just if you're joining us for the first time, we don't have the scoreboard for those swimmers moving from right to left or starting on your right side and finishing on your right side. Strong push right now in lane number 2 for Lucy Favaza. In fact, she is going to take the lead here as they come to mid-pool. She has just passed up Erica Shin slightly. Looking stronger as she goes. In fact, she's widening that lead. As we get set for this next heat here in just a moment. Again, there'll be 7 heats of this one. We're in heat number 2. Odd-numbered heats will start from the left side. Even-numbered heats from the right side. First one into the wall will be Favaza, followed by Shin. In behind Shin will be Rydell. Lane number 6 will be Fox, and rounding things out will be Morgan in lane number 1. Okay, next heat now, moving from left to right on your screen. No swimmers in lanes number 3 and 5. So it'll be Sophie Bain in lane number 1, Sloan Langdon in lane number 2, Emma Reese in lane number 4, and Madeline Tucker in lane number 6. Right now in lanes 1 and 6, it's Bain and Tucker neck and neck. Both from Parkway. Bain is an 11-year-old. Tucker is a 12-year-old. Langdon from Parkway, just a 7-year-old, and a fellow 11-year-old in lane number 4, Amelia Reese. Both swimmers touch the wall about the same time. In lanes number 6 and 1 again, that is Tucker and Bain. Tucker slightly ahead of Bain here as they come to mid-pool right now. You'll see them across your screen. Tucker's kind of lengthened her lead ever so slightly, about 2/3 of a body length over Bain, and then Langdon and Reese now as they come towards mid-pool. First one into the wall will be Tucker. Her time, can she go under 140? She will touch at 139.81. She had no previously established time. For Bain in second place at 143.23, a tremendous drop for her. She was at 222.83. And rounding things out are, as they come down, it will be lane number 2, Langdon, and then Reese. Both of them looking to go under their previous best. Reese was at 206, Langdon at 214. Langdon will beat her previous best time. Reese just off of her previous time, 2:11.60 for Langdon, 2:12.88 for Reese. Next heat already in the water. They just came across half pool. You saw them a moment ago. All lanes are occupied here in this one. It's Anayaya Sethi in lane number 1, Ann Irwin in lane number 2, Rose Patton in lane number 3, Lillian Palish in lane number 4, Aline Gia in lane number 5, and Shannon Higgins in lane number 6. Patton is from Saluki. The other 5 are from Parkway. And Irwin in lane number 2, just a 9-year-old. Front running here in this one, well out ahead of everybody else. Lane number 1, it is Sethi. She's been fast all weekend. Her previous best time was 2:01.09. Judging by her pace right now, we can't see the time, but she is moving down the pool, and she will win this particular heat. Second place in this heat will go to Palish, followed by Patton in lane number 3, and then all 3 swimmers pretty even with Irwin in lane 2, Gia in 5, and Higgins in lane 6. Now, here we are, set for the next heat. They're going to come across the middle of your screen here momentarily. All 6 lanes occupied with Grace Honnold in lane number 1 from Saluki. It's Parkway's Leela Herzl in lane number 2, and Isabella Zabriri, who's been very fast all weekend, in lane number 3. She's the 12-year-old. Right now, she's well ahead of everyone else. Aviana Ganem in lane number 4. She's a 9-year-old, for Parkway. Addison Howard and Cora Bland, both Parkway swimmers, both 10 years old. They're in lanes number 5 and 6, respectively. Zabiri is already off the wall, and she is back the other way, as are Herzl and Honnold. They're in lanes 3, 2, and 1, respectively. Previous best time for Isabella is 1:44.05. Like, share, subscribe, folks. Let us know you're out there. Send a note along to your family, your friends, whoever it might be, fellow swim enthusiast. Tell them to tune on in. Zabiri, though, she's going to go well lower than her previous best time. Isabella, 1:25.04, or excuse me, 1:25.46 for her. We'll check that time here in just a moment. Rounding things out will be Honnold, then Herzl. Lane number 6 is Bland. Then 4, Ganem and Howard. So in that 100-meter backstroke for these young ladies, that 1:25.46, good enough for a double B time for Isabella, just off of the A time. Well, we're already into that next heat, heat number 6. Grace Hager's in lane number 1. Peyton Robick is in lane number 2. Jada Ankrum is in 3. Elam Fu is in 4. Lauren McCall is in 5. And Quinn Porter in 6. All from Parkway. Hager's a 10-year-old. Fu is a 12-year-old. And the other 4 are all 11 years old. And right now, it is Jada Ankrum. Ankrum is from Saluki. And she is in first place there. You see her in lane number 3. She is about a body length ahead of Fu and Robick. Fu is in 4, Robick in 2. When you go towards the top of your screen, we see McCall up in lane number 5, followed by Hager and then Quinn Porter. We won't have the actual time recorded here on this one, not on the scoreboard, as they all come down to it. That's how they'll finish in the exact manner that I mentioned a moment ago. Ankrum, Robick, Fu, McCall, Hager, and Porter. Actually, Porter just out touches Hager. Final heat now. They're already in the water. No swimmer in lane number 5. So we've got 5 competitors. Natalie Gromberg in lane number 1. Kelby Funk in lane 2. Sophia Schmidt in lane number 3. It's Gabby Green in 4 and Libby Price in 6. Front running right now is Sophia Schmidt from Parkway. She is in lane number 3, a 12-year-old. 1:20.15 was her previous best. She just touched off the wall in about 40 seconds. Going to need to speed it up to beat that previous best time. Kelby Funk right in there with her, about a body length and a half behind her in lane number 2, and then it'll be Green in lane 4. Followed by Gronberg and then Price. Schmidt looking very strong right now in lane number 3. Again, she's trying to go under 1:20.15. Looks like she might do it. Her touch into the wall, and it will be 1:19.95, so she beats it. Nice job for her. Second place in the heat goes to Green, then Funk, followed by Gronberg and Price. So 1:19.95 in that 100-meter back. And she just misses that double A time. So nice job for her. Now we're going to move over to the boys. 4 heats for the young men. 3 competitors in heat number 1. Lane number 2, it's Xander Pitt. Lane number 3, it's Ryan Shalom. Lane number 5 is Zachary Kuznetsov. No one in lanes number 1, 4, and 6. Go Lauren McCall. That's from Auntie and Granddad. They love you. Well, nice shout out. Also a nice shout out for Gabby Green from David Green and Melissa Ganem for Aviana. So thank you to all those folks who chimed in. Again, you can hit me on the tweet line. Send me a note. Twitter handle is Matt on the mic 1. At Matt on the mic 1. We want to hear from you. Actually, made a mistake. It looks like Noah Samples is now in. I didn't see him jump in the water, but right now he's right there with the leaders in this one. The young 8-year-old from Saluki doing battle with his fellow teammate Xander Pitt, the 10-year-old from Saluki in lane 2, and then Ryan Shalom in lane 3, just slightly taking the lead over Samples. Kuznetsov in lane number 5, rounding things out. Of course, we saw young Zachary swim the breaststroke all by himself. Very courageous doing that for just a 9-year-old, especially when you don't have a previously established time in a particular event. Swimmers will touch the wall. They'll come back the other way. First one off the wall in lane number 3, is Ryan Shalom. Now, after this backstroke, we'll go to the 50-meter butterfly. And then we'll round things out with that 200 IM. To round things out. And then, about 40 minutes after the conclusion of the 12 and unders, we'll bring you to the 13 and overs. Shalom continuing to lead this one. It's it's Sample in behind him in lane number 1, and then lane number 2 is Pitt. Kuznetsov will round things out in lane number 5, Already set to go with the next heat. Just 2 competitors in this one. They're in lanes number 2 and 3. It's Max Mayo and Chapman Springbold. Mayo is an 11-year-old in lane number 2 from Parkway. Springbold, a 10-year-old from Saluki. Chapman Springbold has a 2:23.48 previously established time in this one, and so he's trying to beat that. Got a nice note from Leslie Samples. Go Noah Samples. I'm so proud of you. Should be. That young 8-year-old just jumped in and completed a 100 back in a 50-meter pool. That's no small feat. Staring up at the ceiling for 2 to 3 minutes at a young 8 years old. As we come back the other way. Mid-pool now for these youngsters. Springbold slightly ahead of Mayo, about a body length or so. Next heat now for the boys. We're going to be moving from left to right on this one. As we finish that one, they're going to come across mid-pool here. 6 full in this one. They're going to go 6 wide. It'll be Henry Price in lane number 1 from Parkway. It'll be Saluki's Ganem Funk in lane number 2. Mason Mollering is in 3. Adam Kress is in 4. Abram Shank in 5. And Mitchell Stanley in lane number 6. Previously best time in this one, 1:38.62 from Mason Mollering in lane number 3. Right now he's right in behind Gannon Funk. Funk has been fast all weekend, and right now he'll be the first one off the wall, followed by Mollering, and then right in behind Mason is Adam Kress in lane 4. Lane number 1 is Henry Price, and then touching the wall in 5 and 6 are Shank and Stanley. But we've got a battle going on right now. Just a head length lead for Funk in lane number 2. Mason Mollering right in there with him as well. Again, fastest time, 1:38.62 from Mollering. Kress came in at a 1:43.89. They were numbers 1 and 2 preliminarily, but right now they're digging in. They're going to go inside the flags, folks. It's anybody's race at this point with Kress just slightly ahead of Mollering. Kress, he will be the first one into the wall. He's going to touch at 1:34.53, 1:35.63 for Mollering. Both of them shattering their previous best time. Funk. It was Funk. Crest coming in lane number 4. I think I got that backwards, so my apologies. 1:40.22. He drops time as well. And then rounding things out in this heat, it is Price, followed by Shank, and now Stanley coming in. All great times for those youngsters. And now we have our final heat now, moving from right to left on your computer screen. No swimmers in lanes number 1 and 5. So it'll be Caleb Oppel in lane number 2, Michael Purcell in 3, Connor Moran in lane number 4, and Cole Strom in lane number 6. Well, in the 12-year-old so far this weekend, Connor Moran has been the man to beat. And right now in lane number 4, he's about a half a body length ahead of Purcell in lane number 3. Michael Purcell's been very good as well, so don't count him out in this particular heat. Connor Moran came in with a 1:30.96 in long course in this 100 back. That is easily good enough for the B time. The double B is 1:27.99. We won't get an officially recorded time for him because it won't be on the scoreboard, so you have to check that on Meet Mobile later today. Of course, the coaches will be able to get those times to everyone as well. Connor Moran now lengthening it out. He's going to win this heat as he continues to stretch it out. Purcell with a nice race also. Second place, lane number 3. And then Oppel in lane 2 and Strom in number 6. They are battling for third place in the heat. Looks like Strom slightly ahead. All 4 of these swimmers from Parkway. Moran will be the first one into the wall. Good touch for him. Then it's Purcell, followed by Strom and Oppel. So that'll round things out, folks, for the 100-meter backstroke. Now, my favorite stroke, the butterfly. Well, I like watching that. I am as well. But butterfly, my favorite stroke, because that's what my son typically competes in. Of course, he's doing different duty today, helping us with the camera work, nursing a broken wrist, keeping him idle the last couple of weeks. Hopefully that cast comes off this week and get back to competing. But we shall see. But we're going to go down to the right side of the pool. As we do for the 50s, everything will go right to left. So stay with us, folks. This is a fun stroke to watch, especially as we start to get into the swimmers who are adept and skilled at this particular power stroke. Can be difficult for some of the youngsters, though. It does require a lot of body power, both upper, core, and lower. I often told my son, if I was much younger and had to do it over again, I'd do the butterfly so I could make sure I was faster than him. I don't know if I can complete a 50-meter butterfly in a long course pool right now, though. That's for sure. Following the butterfly now, we will have that 200 IM. Nice shout out from the aerobic grandparents saying very proud of their grandkids. They should be. They compete at a high level. They come and put on a good show for the fans, and of course, they're doing it for their personal bests as well. And they excel each and every time out. Saw Vicky Robick prior to the meet. She is timing today.
Bone is it? Like that little bone right there. That's like the most common one that gets put down and break because everyone goes, ah.
Got a little delay. Maybe we're a little ahead of schedule here, which is always a plus. Scorekeepers are getting a chance to catch up on the scoreboard. So folks, one thing that as your children start to grow, this is one swim parent to another, you'll start to look at, okay, how do we improve our kids? They get a lot of time in the pool with the coaches. At this age group, you know, you've got Coach Kurt, you got Coach Kean, of course, Coach Chris Etherington. All of them take their time, as well as all the Parkway coaches, to teach the strokes. But it's really about building up some of their strength and endurance as well. There are extra clinics out there. Take a look at those. Some of the universities have them. There's other coaches around the area. One thing from one swim parent to the other, make sure it aligns with the same philosophies of the Parkway coaching staff as well. I think that's often important. You want to have that consistency, but you also like to see other perspective. The other fun thing that happens is a lot of these youngsters will compete for a summer swim team. Maybe it's their subdivision where they live. Maybe they belong to a separate club. Maybe they just want to swim with some of their friends who aren't into year-round competitive swimming. All those types of things are very fun. Those are the types of things as well that keep the kids motivated as well, and of course gives the parents a chance to hang out and get to know each other a little bit more as well. But big fun for that summer swim, and we hope you get into those summer months and all the kids enjoy it and take some vacation. Also important to take a little time away. One thing that my son is being able to take advantage of is resting the body. Swimming is a year-round sport when you get to a certain level. For him it is, and a little couple weeks off does not hurt. It helps you regenerate. And then one more time from one parent to the other, I will tell you, if your kids are playing multiple sports, stay in it as long as you can. Those kids tend to develop different skill sets. Every sport teaches them something different, whether it's how to be a teammate, how to be coached. They may not go on and be an all-time great swimmer, but that swimming helps them with their other sports. Maybe your youngster is really, really keen on playing hockey. Well, how powerful can that youngster be from the core through swimming? All those types of things help. They aid one another. Nice shout out from Elaine Johnson, and of course her husband Mike down on the pool deck. Got a chance to say hello to Mike. Hadn't seen him in a while. And Elaine, I saw her yesterday as well. I want to say hi to her. And her daughter Kennedy also competes at a very high level. She's a multi-sport athlete, competes on the basketball court as well. So enjoy that, parents, while you can, and keep your kids involved. And then nothing more important, of course, I can't go without saying, than making sure they're getting their schoolwork done, because that is the number one most important part of it. All right, here we go. We are back in butterfly now, 50-meter style. This is just one length of the pool. This is going to be fast, folks. It's 3 competitors here for the young ladies. Sloan Langdon's in lane number 1, Gwendolyn Thompson in lane number 3, and Emma DeBosch in lane number 4. Langdon and DeBosch, both 7 years old, and Thompson, a 9-year-old. Right now, Emma is really lengthening things out halfway through the pool at 25 meters, and she's got about a 2.5 to 3 body length lead. No previously established time for these young ladies. We start to look at those motivational time cuts in this 50-meter fly. 53:39, that's your first cut for the B. Got a couple of 7-year-olds in here. They actually have to make those time standards for the 10 and unders. So it's going to be tough for them to do that. A lot of cheering going on for these young ladies, though. Love to hear that. Great team camaraderie. 110.51 for young Emma DeBosch, as she does well on her first time out in this event. Also, Langdon with a 1:14.34. Nice time for her first time out, and then a 1:20.31. So well done there for all 3 of these young ladies as they get their first ever recorded times. The same scenario will take place for our next heat. In this heat, we will have no swimmer in lane number 6. Lane number 1 will be Peyton Schoenfeld. She's a 9-year-old from Parkway. Heidi Haberstroh in lane number 2, along with Claire Spiegel and Evie McDowell. They're in 3 and 4. They're all 10 years old. They're all from Parkway. And then Vivian Borgmeyer, actually she's not in either. So, well, we thought we had somebody up on the block for lane number 3. So it looks like Spiegel's out. So we have Schoenfeld in 1, Haberstroh in 2, McDowell in 4. All righty, no previously established time right now. Good stroke for Haberstroh in lane number 2. She's a little bit ahead of the others. Looking strong as all of them come across half of the pool. She'll be the first one into wall. Will Heidi at a 53.92. That 53.92 time just off of that B of a 53.39. McDowell will come in second in the heat, and Schoenfeld will round things out. We'll move on to heat number 3 of 7, or of 8 for the young ladies. We'll have 5 heats for the young men. And then 3 heats, and then several heats, excuse me, of that 200 IM. All 6 lanes occupied. It's to be Aline Gia in lane number 1, Lillian Palish in lane number 2, Colleen in lane number 3, Erica Shin in lane number 4, Emerson Poley in lane number 5, and Sydney Rakers in lane number 6. All of these swimmers are 10 years old. Saluki swimmers are King and Poley. The other 4 are from Parkway. A couple more shout-outs now. Go Evie, we're proud of you. That's from Violet McDowell. I wonder if they're any relation to the old Cleo McDowell from the What's Going Down episode in Coming to America. Just a little joke. We know that Coming to America 2 came out here just a couple of weeks ago, but old school fun movie for dads, and hopefully you can get a little chuckle out of that one. First one into the wall here with a great time of 45:14 is Palish. We'll check on that one in terms of her time standard. Second place in the heat is King at 55:29. So we're going to have some nice times here on that one. That 45:11 definitely in there for a double B time. So she is qualified for the championships later this summer. Shin will come in 3rd place. 4th in the heat will be Poley, followed by Rakers, and then Gia in lane number 1. All right, next heat now. No swimmers in lanes number 4 and 5, so it'll be Quinn Porter in lane number 1, Lindsay Wong in lane number 2, Amelia Reese in lane number 3, and Noah Brooks in lane number 6. Get a go Erica from Gilbert Shin. You can also hit me on Twitter, Matt on the Mic 1. That's my Twitter handle. Give us a shout out. Well out ahead of everyone, looking very strong right now. Lindsay Wong in lane number 2. Good form for her, keeping low across the water. Good stroke, good rhythm for her. Taking 2 strokes for every 1 breath. That's how you want to sprint this. And good technique and great form for her. Is she going to go sub 40? She will get it at 40:32. Nice, strong race for her. And she comes in with a B time right out of the chute for her. No previously established time. She gets the B time. It'll be Porter in 2nd in the heat. Lane number 6 will be Brooks, and rounding things out will be Reese. Reese came in with a 1:15.54. She's trying to beat that. Goes inside the flag here. Let's see if she can get in the next 5 seconds to beat that previously established time. One of the other things we see is on meets like this where the pace tends to be a little quicker, the swimmers got to go from one event to the next event to the next event. They get a little tired. And this is an event where that tiredness can really, really show up. So 1:22.86 for Reese. All right, now, all swimmers in this next heat have a previously established time. Heat number 5, it looks like we will have all 6 lanes occupied. We will. It'll be Anna Irwin in lane number 1, Addison Howard in 2, Natalie Grinther in 3, and Shannon Higgins in 4. Rose Patton will jump in lane number 5, and Celine Chen in lane number 6. Slightly ahead of everybody else here now as they come to mid-pool. Lane number 6 will be Celine Chen. Down in lane number 1, also going very fast, and Irwin. Previous best time in this one, 53.98 from Grinther in lane number 3. So you have a 9-year-old in Irwin, a 10-year-old in Howard, 3 11-year-olds in Grinther, Higgins, and Patton, and then Chen in lane number 6 is a 12-year-old. Right now, Chen looks to be the fastest in the pool for this particular heat. Got to go Amelia from Curtis Reese, and then go to Annie Irwin. First one in will be Chen in a 50.14. That beats her previous best by almost 12 seconds. Second place in the heat at a 50.87 is Irwin. She beats hers by almost 7 seconds. And then it is Grinther, followed by Howell. Grinther at 54.50, 56.44 for Howard. 102.16 and 102.48 for Higgins and Patton. Nice times for all of them across the board. All right, here we go now. Next heat. This will be 6. Anagaya Setsi in lane number 1. It's Cora Bland in lane number 2. It is Rowan Bullard in lane 3. Riley Moran in 4. Grace Hager in lane 5. And Tori Reese in lane number 6. Right now, it is Moran and Reese in 4 and 6. A little ahead of the pack. Also strong in lane number 1 is Seti. All 4 of these swimmers have been all 3 of those swimmers, have been very, very strong here throughout the weekend. Right now, Moran maybe with about a half a stroke lead over Reese. And then don't sleep on Sethi because she's been very fast all week. But right now, Riley Moran trying to beat her previous best of 48.11. She's going to go well under that, folks. She may beat 45. She will. 41.96. What a time for Riley Moran. We'll get the drop on that one here in just a moment. Second place from Sethi at 43.02. A great time for the 11-year-old there of 10-second drop. 47.03. Or excuse me, that was Reese. Yeah, Sethi. 47.03, a 5-second drop, and then rounding things out in that heat will be Bullard, Bland, and Hager. That 41.96 for the 10-year-old, just off of the A time of 40.79. All right, 5 competitors in this heat, no one in lane number 5. It's Libby Price in lane 1, Lauren McCall in lane 2, Gabby Green is in 3, Kennedy Johnson in lane 4. She just got a shout out a moment ago from her mother, as did Lauren McCall. Madeline Tucker in lane number 6. Right now it's Johnson and Green in lanes number 4 and 3 respectively. They're doing battle right now and they're going at it, folks. Their strokes are a little bit opposite, so it's going to be dependent on who's going to be on stroke. Right now it looks like it'll be Green slightly ahead of Johnson, and Green now takes a little bit of lead inside the flags, and it'll be Gabby Green at a 38.32. Great time for her. 2 seconds better than her previous time. 39.36 for Johnson, and 2 seconds ahead of her previous best time. Rounding things out will be McCall, then Price, followed by Tucker. So we'll get the drop on those youngsters. That time for Green was into that AA range. She got it, and then Kennedy Johnson solidly into the B range. Last heat now. All swimmers are even right now. It's Danny Hume in lane number 1, Paige Blum in lane number 2, Peyton Robics in lane 3. Heading the pack slightly is Leah DeBosch in lane number 4, Aubrey Ackerman in lane 5, and it's Margaret Mendoza in lane number 6. But right now, lane number 4, it's Leah DeBosch. Young Leah, the 11-year-old with a 38.18 coming in, looking to go under 35. Will she do it? She won't go under 35, but she will hit at a 36.75. Right in behind her at 36.90 is Peyton Robic, and then 37.36 by Hume. And rounding things out will be Ackerman and Blum, followed by Mendoza. But that 36.75 from DeBosch was quite a time for the 11-year-old. Well into that double B range, just off of the A time, 36.90 previously established. Peyton Robic did have that double B time already. She was slightly off her personal best. All right, on to the boys. 50 meters. They got 5 heats of this one. It's the butterfly stroke. No one in lanes number 1, 4, 5, and 6. So it'll be Zach Kuznetsov in lane number 2. Ryan Shalom in lane number 3. Shalom right now slightly ahead. Shalom, 10 years old from Parkway, and Kuznetsov, the 9-year-old. Well, I guess Zachary's probably just happy that he doesn't have to do this event by himself like he did in that 50-meter breaststroke. And looks like it will be young Ryan Shalom. No previously established time for Ryan here in this one. We got a yay, Lauren, from Gracie84. So you want to keep hitting us up, folks. Hit that live chat just as long as you keep it clean. That's all we ask for. Of course, this is a family show. It's all about the kids. As the two youngsters finish competing, nice times for them. Shalom 1:06 flat. Kuznetsov had a soft touch, so the time did not register completely on that screen. Across the way here. Next heat now. Number of lanes will be vacated in this one, or open, however you want to call it. Looks like we'll have just two competitors in this one. Lane number 1 will be Tyson Brooks. And then lane number 5 will be Colin Mozzie. So Brooks, 10 years old from Parkway. Mozzie, a 10-year-old from Parkway as well. We got a Casey Chapman shout out. Let's go, Casey. You got this. He'll be coming up. Just a couple of heats, but right now it's Mozzie. We saw him be very strong in short course in this event. Of course, he got a shout out from the old ball coach, Gary Kornfeld, back in those days. And we'll say hi to Coach. He's out there listening this weekend, but he looks strong right now. Well, he did look strong. Looks like he stumbled on his stroke there slightly. So unfortunate for him. He was doing quite well, but this is as tough of a stroke as there is for any youngster. These 10-year-olds, his time was going to be pretty well established, 55.78, but I don't know if that one will count. Brooks will come in now in lane number 1 at just over a minute at 1 minute flat 85. So nice job for those youngsters, and they complete the circuit. One of the things you have to do in the butterfly, the breaststroke, is you got to continually make the stroke. If you stall out, that can cause the official's hand to go up. I think that's what we saw there just a moment ago. Matt on the mic 1, shoot us up with a tweet. Let us know you're out there listening, who you want to give a shout out to. Or, of course, you can chime in right there on the chat. We'll go back the other way. Also, number of lanes open in this one. We've got swimmers in lanes 2, 3, 5, and 6. So no one in lanes 1 and 4. It'll be Adam Kress in lane 2, Parker Robick in 3, Ryan Pinkerton in 5, and Max Mayo in 6. All of these swimmers are from Parkway. Robick with the only previously established time of 1:11.04. And right now he is in lane number 3. He's just 8 years old, folks. Goes out and competes at the highest level. See him walking around the pool. One of my favorite stories about this young man is it takes a long time sometimes for the young boys to graduate from the longer jammer short to the shorter brief type swimsuit. Some call that the Speedo. Not this young guy. He walks the walk, folks. He comes and competes each and every time at just 8 years old. We're going to look for this kid. He is one of the futures of the Parkway program for sure, following in his older brother Colby and his older sister Peyton's footsteps. First two into the wall now nicely. Pinkerton with a 49.38. Nice job for Ryan. Second place in that heat was Kress with a 49.75 for those two youngsters. Not going to quite get them into that level where they want to be with those B times yet, but they will get there soon enough. Robick will come in at a 1:05.11. Oh, that is 6 seconds almost better than his previous time. So nice job for him. Of course, he'll still be going for those B and double B times, but he's got to reach that threshold for the 10-year-olds. Awfully tough to do. And then rounding things out in that heat is Mayo. Next heat now, we got 5 competitors in this one. It'll be Andrew Bain in lane number 1, Mitchell Stanley in lane number 2, Elliott Sapp is in 3, Henry Price is in 4, and Seamus Smith is in 5. Best time coming in, Elliott Sapp at 53.44. He's in lane number 3, and right now he's a body length ahead of the next closest competitor, which is Smith in lane number 5, although Smith is making a move now to try and catch him. Smith's best time previously is 1:01.51. he's going to shatter that one, folks. In fact, all these youngsters, I think, are going to break their previous best. But what a time from Sapp. He comes off the shelf, folks, at a 40.92. Now, a lot of these kids haven't swam this in, well over 2 years, or a year and a half. But what a time for him. And then Smith comes in at a 45.77. Seamus with a nice job. Rounding things out in this one are Bain, Stanley, and Price. So great times across the board for them. And that is well into that B range for Elliott Sapp. Nice job for him. Final heat in this one. No swimmer in lane number 4, so we'll have Mason Mollering in lane number 1, Michael Purcell in 2, Casey Chapman in 3, Anderson Taki in lane number 5, and Nick Lang in lane number 6. Previous best time in this one, Chapman, 36.39. Right now, he's showing his quality, folks. Great stroke for her. I'm watching young Matthew Judkins look at him, and he's shaking his head saying, that kid can go get it. The 11-year-old in lane number 3, again, his previous best was 36.39. Is he going to go under that? Trying to go under 35. He'll hit it at 35.93 for him. So a 35.93, just off of the A time at 35.19. Second place in that one was Purcell, followed by Mason Mollering with a nice time. He drops almost 5 seconds, 39.21. So nice job for Mason, just off of that double B time. So he'll have a couple more months to work on that, and we'll see him in the championships, no doubt. Taki and Lang round things out. Great swimming for all those youngsters in that one. Some good B and double B times and an A time, or just off of an A time, excuse me. All right, folks, we got a little longer event coming up. See Matt Mollering walking, making sure everything's secure, everybody's safe, and cheering his son on all at the same time. Of course, he's used to doing multiple duties as a principal in a special school district in Hazelwood, and so I want to say hi to him. And of course, his wife also an educator, and all those folks out there that are teachers. We know it's been a trying year. We want to say kudos to you for a great job and all the work that you do with our kids. Make sure that they have, 1, stayed educated, learned a little bit here this year, 2, stayed safe, and 3, setting the good example for them. We've got a little bit of a delay as we get set here for this next event. Remember, hit me on the tweet line. Send me a tweet at Matt on the mic. That is where it's at, folks. We're running just a little bit. We're running just about on time, folks. A little bit behind schedule, maybe about 10 minutes or so behind schedule. So we'll be maybe 15, 20 minutes late starting that event for the older kids, but getting everything set up one more time for this last event, which is that 200 IM. We'll have 5 heats for the young ladies and 3 for the young men. And then we'll have about a 40-minute break. We'll log off of this one. We'll sign out, and then when we come back, we'll bring you the 13 and overs. This IM, again, it will be 1 stroke in each of the 4 disciplines. Butterfly, back, breast, and freestyle. And for any of these youngsters, 12 and under, that could be an awfully tough task at 200 meters. So it's 1 length of the pool of each of the strokes. 3 competitors in this first heat. Aviana Ganem in lane number 1. It's Riley Moran in lane 2, or excuse me, Ganem's in lane 2, Moran in lane 3, and Heidi Havistro in lane number 4. All 3 of these swimmers are very strong, but they have no previously established time in this. So we're going to see what they do here. I'm looking forward to this one, folks. Extremely good quickness off the block that time for Riley Moran. She hit that start right on the mark. Of course, we mentioned it earlier. Older sister, a good athlete. Stars on the soccer and basketball court. Older brother Connor is here. He has been maybe the top swimmer for the 12 and unders here so far for the boys. And right now she's showing her quality in this butterfly. She's got a couple of body length lead over her competitors, Ganem and Haberstroh. Moran and Haberstroh, 10 years old. Ganem is a 9-year-old in lane number 2. .409.39. That's the time for these youngsters to get that B cut. We've seen Moran compete in all of the strokes, as has Haberstroh and Ganem. And they've been very good in all the strokes, but right now, young Riley really showcasing her strength in these first 2 disciplines. When we talk about this individual medley, we talk about that butterfly being a power stroke. That backstroke goes right there with it. Then you switch to that really technical stroke, which Moran is about to do here as she touches the wall. That one is really a finesse technical stroke. It requires everything to stay fast and disciplined. And then, of course, you come home with the freestyle. It's a pure sprint for 50. So at a 132, or the 134.72 right now, Riley Moran under what would be that B time. Double B time. 36 seconds faster at a 3:43.19. That's what she's really going to be going for. I think she's going to be in pretty good shape to try and get under that. You want to know what the A time is? 3:17.09. She may sniff that. She may even sniff that double A time of 3:08.29. We'll see. I think she will sniff that time. In fact, we may get a couple of B's and double B's out of this one. It's very strong, these 9 and 10-year-olds in this event. You got to be strong. You got to be good at all the different disciplines to even compete here, and they're doing it at a very high level. Just the issue for them is they just haven't had an established time. Otherwise, maybe they'd be in that final heat. But Riley Moran will touch in under 2:39. She's looking very strong. In fact, she's like the old-fashioned power running backs of the 70s and 80s. The more you give them the ball late in the game, the stronger they get. And right now, she is cruising her way down the pool. She is going to go well under the A time, I think, and she's got a chance to get that double A time at 3:08. Not quite, maybe going to get that, but that 3:17.09 of the A time definitely within her reach. Inside the flag, can she get it in these last 6 seconds? Couple of strokes away. Riley Moran for the A time, and she will get it at 3:17.10. Oh, she misses it by .01. The 3:17.10 by .01 on the A time. Well, folks, we saw her quality right there. She's going to be well within reach of getting that, but congratulations to Riley. First time out swimming that event, and she crushes it with a 1/100th of a second off of that A time. Second place in that heat right now, it's going to be Haberstroh. Again, she will get a solid B time. Not going to quite get that double B time, but she's going to be within striking distance of 6 seconds. And then rounding things out in lane 2 will be Ganem, also a B time. So they all get the cuts. Great job, young ladies. Now we're already in for heat number 2. All 6 lanes are occupied. Jada Ankrum in lane number 1 and Willa Shank in lane number 2. They're both 11 years old. Ankrum's from Saluki, Shank from Parkway. Elam Fu is a 12-year-old from Parkway in lane 3, and then we got 3 11-year-olds from Parkway in lanes 4, 5, and 6. It's Sophie Bain, Campbell McCool, and Leela Herzl. So great job there in that first one, and of course these young ladies want to equal that. They want their B times and their double B times and all those established cuts. Front running so far in this one in lane number 3, that is Fu. And she again has been very strong in all the strokes throughout the week. Elam is a 12-year-old for Parkway. 13 and over start to filter in for their events. As we are halfway through. We finish up the second stroke here for the first swimmer. Again, that's Fu. Second one to touch the wall in lane number 1 will be Ankrum, and then it's Herzl in lane number 6. Followed it close behind in lane number 5 by McCool. Then it's lane number 2, Shank, and Bain in lane number 4. This breaststroke, folks, is the one stroke that can make or break an IMer. We see it oftentimes. Swimmer can be very strong in that butterfly and that backstroke, but then they get to this breaststroke, maybe they can't quite be as strong, or they're not quite as strong. Or the flip side of that is really the best stroke for certain swimmers, and so they're able to make up a lot of ground in the breaststroke. Right now, we got a nice race going, though. Elam Fu in lane number 3. She's going to touch and go into the freestyle. She'll be the first one to the wall. Second one to the wall in lane number 6 will be Herzl. Then it's Ankrum in lane number 1. They are very close to each other. Followed closely behind by McCool, then Bain, and Shank. The 12-year-old from Parkway in lane number 3 right now, leading, but making up some ground is Herzl, the 11-year-old from Parkway. About a body length and a half or so behind. And then lane number 1 falling off the pace. She was right in there with the breaststroke was Ankrum. She was very strong on that breaststroke, but it'll be the first one into the wall. That's how they'll finish. Again, it will be Fu, followed by Herzl, then Ankrum, then McCool, and then rounding things out in lanes number 4 and 2 are Bain and Shank as they go across midway through the pool. No swimmer in lane number 2 for this next heat. Moving from left to right, it's Celine Chen in lane number 1, Aniyaya Sethi in lane number 3, Grace Honnold in lane number 4, Paige Blom in 5, and Lindsey Wong in lane number 6. Right now it's Wong looking very strong in that breaststroke. So Wong right now, she'll be the first one to touch in this. Wong now into the backstroke, continuing to lead. Blom has closed the gap on this backstroke. Coming right in behind them are Honnold and Sethi. Then down in lane number 1, it'll be rounded out by Chen. But we've got a race now, folks. Now, again, this could be the make or break stroke with this breaststroke. They'll touch and go back the other way. One full lap to go. It's a length of the breaststroke, then a length of the freestyle. Who's got the strongest in this one? We do know that Sethi was very good in the breaststroke earlier, but right now it looks like it might be Blom. Paige, 12-year-old, in lane number 5 for Parkway. Swimmers getting really bunched up right now, and this could get exciting, folks, as it may come right down to a sprint in those last 50. Of course, you got to make sure you have just a little bit of juice left in that tank. We've seen some of these swimmers be able to turn on that nitro booster on that last 50. Let's see if any of those are kind of holding out and doing that. Right now, it is Blom in 5, and then Honnold in lane 4. Followed in behind by Wong and then Sethi. And then rounding things out in lane 1 is Chen. They're off the wall now. They're going to go back the other way, and a nice underwater there that time in lane number 5 by Blom. And Paige looks like now she has that little bit of left in the tank. Extremely strong in the freestyle for Paige. Her previous best time, she doesn't have one, folks. So she's, again, in that 11 and 12-year-olds. This 200 IM. 3:26.09 is the beat time. She's going to go under that with a 3:21.08. So Paige with a beat time in her first ever. Nice job for her. It was Honnold in second place. Third place in the heat goes to Sethi, followed by Wong, and then Chen will round things out in lane number 1. Well, they're already in, folks, on this chase start for heat number 4. Grace Hager's in lane number 1. Libby Price is in lane number 2. They're both 10 years old from Parkway. Brenna Vogler is in lane number 3. She's from Parkway. Actually, she is not here today. Madeline Tucker from Parkway is in lane number 4. Natalie Grinther from Parkway in lane number 5. And then the 11-year-old for Saluki, Tori Reese, is in lane number 6. It is Libby Price right now, stretching things out in this backstroke ahead of everyone else. Second place in this heat, top of your screen, is Reese, followed by Tucker in lane 4. Then it's Hager in lane number 1 and Rinther in lane number 5. But good swimming so far from young Libby Price, the 10-year-old. Her previous best time was a 3:43.71. And she was less than a second off of that double B. So you know the competitive spirit of young Libby is that's exactly what she's going to go for. Of course, her twin brother Henry swimming today, and then her older sister Lucy also swimming this weekend. Her mother is the director of the meet, so we want to thank Ruth for all the work that she's done and making sure this goes off without a hitch. Unfortunately, we won't know Libby's time officially with the scoreboard as they started this one on the right side. But it'll be Libby Price first on the wall at the breaststroke as they go into that freestyle. Second place in the heat will go to Reese. Then it will be Tucker, followed by Grinther and Hager. Libby Price now will stretch things out here a little bit, looking very strong in this freestyle. Also strong at the top of your screen is Reese in lane number 6. I don't think there's going to be enough pool left for her to catch Price, though. Young Libby looking stronger as she goes. I think she's going to be well under that. I'm going to say congrats for getting underneath that double B. I think she's got it. Judging by her pace, she has been very good. And she will touch the wall here in first place in the heat. Second place in the heat goes to Reese. Third place in the heat to Tucker, followed by Grinther. And then Grace Hager will round things out with a strong swim as well. Well, actually, Libby Price already had the double B. I got my 4s and my 3s mixed up, so she already had it. She was going for the 8 time, so she may have gotten it. I don't really know what her time was, as we're now into the final heat here. No swimmer in lane number 1. It's lane number 2 is Kelby Funk. Sophia Schmidt in lane number 3. Lane number 4 is Gabby Green. Margaret Mendoza is 5, and Isabella Zabriri in lane number 6. And we know Isabella has been one of the strongest female swimmers in the 12-year-old ranks so far this weekend. She's been very good so far, and she's been good at all strokes. Also down in lanes number 2 and 3, looking very good, are Funk and Schmidt. Both of them have competed in all the strokes and competed at a high level. Again, we've seen the breaststroke be the game-changing stroke in a number of these IM heats so far, and that could very well be the case right now. First one off the wall is Isabella. She swims for Saluki. She came in with a 3:16.95. Fastest time in the heat was 2:59 flat from Sophia Schmidt. She's in lane number 3. Gabby Green, she's in lane number 4. Of course, she's just a 9-year-old. The rest are all 12-year-olds. Gabby Green's 3:11.21 in this IM is good enough for an A time. She's trying to get that double A at 3:08.29. The double B cut for the 11 and 12 years old is 3:11.39. So a number of them trying to get that. Sophia Schmidt already has it. She's the only one with that double B, and she is just off of the A time. So with her prelim time, we'll see what that looks like. They're going to come back the other way, and here's Isabella. Again, lane number 6, she's trying to go under 3:11.39 for the double B time. The 2:56.59 is the A time, and the double A is 2:49.29. Will she get it? She's going to be off the double A, but she should get that A time, 2:52.42. She will do that A time. Nice job. She's been a great swimmer all weekend. Great job for her. That'll round out a nice meet for her. Second place goes to Schmidt and then Funk. Schmidt drops 2 seconds off her previous best time, so great job for her. And she just misses that A time. Third place goes to Funk. Fourth place in this one goes to Gabby Green at 3:10.36. So Gabby, she is just still off that double A time slightly, but that's a personal best for her. Mendoza in 5th place. So great one. Rounding all that events out for these young ladies. And what a way to end it with a nice A time from Isabella Zibriri. She comes in once again with a 2:52.42. Now we're on to the boys. We got 3 heats for these youngsters. Just 5 youngsters in this one. No one in lane number 5. It'll be Grayson Langdon in lane 1, Andrew Bain in lane 2, Anderson Taki in lane number 3, and Michael Purcell in 4, with Abram Shank, the young 9-year-old, in lane number 6. No previously established times for these young cats. They'll touch the wall on the first one, come back the other way after the butterfly into the backstroke. Now middle of the pool, lanes number 3 and 4. That's Purcell and Taki. Of course, we've seen Purcell be one of the top performers throughout the weekend, the 12-year-old for Parkway. He's really getting some of his first established times. Right now, both these swimmers looking very strong. They're pacing off of each other. And it'll be interesting to see what happens as they go into that breaststroke. Maybe one swimmer's stronger in the breaststroke than the other one. Maybe they're going to be even. At the halfway point, nice split there. 132.51 for Purcell. You want to start looking at those 12-year-old cuts for this IM. 2:23.79 is the B. 3:08.49 is the double B. And right now, Purcell looking very strong in the breaststroke. So he looks very strong in the breaststroke, does young Michael Purcell, as he starts front running and as he open it up just a little bit. Taki has fallen off just a little bit here in lane number 3, and coming on strong in lane number 1 is Grayson Langdon. Lane number 2 is next. That's Bain, and then Abram Shank, the 9-year-old, up in lane number 2. Off the wall now, coming back the other way is Purcell. Again, what he wants to get, he wants that double B, no doubt. 3:08.49. Let's see if he can come back in a quick pace on this one. He comes to half pool He's got 17 seconds to get there, folks. Let's see if he can do it. Everyone's off the wall now as Shank touches in lane number 6. They'll go back the other way. Again, 3:08. He's not quite going to get under that. He's trying to get that B cut, though, of 3:23.79, and he will do it in his first time out. Nice job for Michael. Second place in the heat's going to go to Taki in lane number 3. Then in Langdon in lane number 2 comes in second place. Then Taki. Looks like making a nice comeback is Shank in lane 6, but it will be Bain who will get it in lane number 2. All right, we're back in now. Next heat already in the water. 5 competitors here for this one. Ryan Pinkerton's in lane number 1. Gannon Funk in lane number 2, Caleb Oppel in lane number 3, and it's Cameron Wellick in lane number 4, Nick Lang in lane number 5. Of course, Cameron's mother helped us out quite a bit yesterday, helping man the camera and making sure everything was going okay. First one off the wall and a strong turn into the backstroke. Lane number 3 is Caleb Oppel. He's been strong all weekend long, folks, and he continues that. His previous time was 3:24.18. That 3:24.18 for Caleb, just off of the B time of 3:23.79. We won't get the official time up on the scoreboard for this particular heat, so we're not going to know exactly where he hits. As all swimmers come across half pool here on this one. On this backstroke. When they touch, they'll be halfway finished. And now they go back the other way. This is the breaststroke. This is the make or break stroke for a lot of these youngsters. Lane number 3 looking really strong right now, Caleb Oppel. And then we'll have one more heat left to go. We'll touch the wall here on this breaststroke. They'll go back the other way for one final length of the pool. Couple of 10-year-olds in this one. Funk and Wellick in lanes number 2 and 3. 11-year-olds are Oppel and Lang, and then Pinkerton in lane number 1 is a 12-year-old. Halfway done now in this pool, in this final lap or this final length is Oppel. We see him going the other way. From left to right. Lane number 2 is Funk from Saluki, the 10-year-old. His previous best time was 4:07.16. Looks to be outpacing that one. Even with each other in lanes number 1 and 5 are Pinkerton and Lang, and then Wellick will round things out as he nears mid-pool. And all these youngsters coming down to the end. All righty. Last heat now, 6 full. Good race here. It's Cole Strom in lane number 1. He's a 10-year-old from Parkway. Comes in with a 3:11.57. Christopher Nelson's in lane number 2 from Parkway, 11 years old. And right next to him, unattached, is Casey Chapman, now swimming as part of the Parkway program. He's in lane number 3, 2:56.49. It's Connor Moran with a 2:59.93. We know how good he's been all weekend long. And right now, he's front running on his butterfly. He's in 4. Elliot Bland, also a strong swimmer, 3:08.59. 12-year-old from Parkway in lane 5. And then Mason Mullering rounding things out in lane number 6. just an 11-year-old at 2:23.17. It'll be Moran, first one off the wall. He stretches it out with a nice underwater off of that backstroke. Body length and a half to 2 body lengths lead over Chapman right next to him. Casey got that shout out a minute ago. Let's see if we can channel some of that energy. We'd love to see if the Morans can chime in with a shout out. Cheer on young Connor. As all the swimmers now within touching distance of finishing in the top 3, but it's Connor Moran lengthening it out. We know he can go low in the breaststroke as well. He touches the wall and comes back the other way, folks. He's in lane number 4. His previous best time for Connor, 2:59.93. That is well into the double B range. 2:53.19 is the A, 2:45.49 is the double A. Mid-pool for him now. As he lengthens it out in this breaststroke, looking very, very strong. Again, one of the futures of Parkway swimming right there. Also in lane number 3 is Chapman. Catching up to him in lane number 2 with a strong breaststroke is Nelson. Also look out in lane number 5 for Elliott Bland. He's hanging in there. And then down in lane number 1, it's Cole Strom making some headway in that breaststroke as well with Mason Mollering. In lane number 6, also hanging in there. Moran will touch the wall. 2:06 for him. Looking to come back and see if he can come back in about 30. Where's Connor going to finish this one up? Well, 2:37.79. That, of course, is the AAA. Here we go. We're going to try and focus in on young Connor. He's going to come down to it, folks. Down to the wall. Can he get there? Well, he won't quite get that AAA, but 2:45.49 is the AA. What a way to finish out the meet for him with a solid AA for Connor Moran. 2:42.89. 17 seconds better than his previous best. That's a AA time. And way to go for him. The young 6th grader out of Incarnate Word Parish School. And he does a great job. Coming in 2nd place in the heat in lane number 3 will be Chapman. He will beat his previous, he won't beat his previous best. 3:03.07. 3rd place in the heat in lane number 2 will be Nelson. Followed up in lane number 5 by Bland, and then Strom in 1, and Mollering will round things out with a 3:17.11. And for Mason, that is a drop of 6 seconds on a 3:17.11. So nice job for him and way to round things out. In fact, that is well into that B range and a lot closer to that double B. Well, folks, that'll do it here for us for this opening session, the 12 and under session here of this Parkway Long Course Classic to really start off the beginning of the year. We hope you've enjoyed it so far here today. My name is Matt Judkins. I've enjoyed bringing it to you. For my partner, Matthew Judkins Jr., who is on the camera, we want to thank you. Have a great day, or come back and join us here in about 40 minutes as we get ready for the 13 and overs. Until then, so long. Good seeing you, buddy. We'll see you.